What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and you're watching the Louisville Cardinal Weekly Report. Top 10 candidates to replace Bobby Petrino. As we all know, Bobby Petrino was let go about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and Louisville's been kind of like, Louisville football has been suffering all year long, man. It's been a horrible season. 2-10 is our record, and man, it's just been need I say, I never thought I would say we would have a worse season than the Cragthorpe years. Like this hurts worse than the Cragthorpe years did. Put it that way. And to have Bobby Petrino as the head coach for 8 of those games, it says a lot, man. Me personally, I feel like it's a lot more stuff going on behind the scenes in Louisville, and some other people pulling strings. I don't really put this whole season on Bobby Petrino, but it is what it is. We still needed a new football coach. So here are my top 10 picks. For now, we don't know when they're going to announce this, who they hired, or I think everybody's waiting till the end of the season. They feel like one of these names that's on my list is going to be the next head coach. But let's get into it, man. I don't want to ramble on too long. My number 10, and I actually, I'm staking a lot of claim in this name that he will be, if not a coach, the next head coach of the Louisville Cardinals. I really think that this is the guy. I really think this is the only guy that they can afford to bring in, and he's the best qualified guy to bring in that they can afford. Because I'll explain why the number 1 guy I don't feel like they can bring in later. But the number 10 guy I feel like they should bring in would be Brian Brown. He's currently sitting at 6-6 with his brother as the head coach of Purdue. He's the offensive coordinator of Purdue. We all know what he did as a player at U of L. I think he brings a lot of talent as a quarterback coach, as running an offense. The question would be, who would he bring in to be his defensive coordinator? Because this guy that's here, he can't stay. This guy is horrible. I actually feel like he should have been fired first before Bobby Petrino. But I think they just, I don't know. Actually, I don't know why. I'm not even going to say I think, because I don't know why they kept this guy on as the defensive coordinator for 2 more games. He is horrible. Number 9, Luke Fickell, the coach of Cincinnati. They're currently sitting at 10-2. You know, Cincinnati's always a pretty good program. They're right up the street, so it wouldn't be a change in recruiting style from what we normally been seeing for the past 5 years, but it would be a change in personnel, a new guy to come in. He's not doing bad at Cincinnati. He's obviously got them at 10-2. He is in the how do you pronounce that? The AAC. American Athletic Conference, and they've been doing pretty good since they've been there, man. So, Luke Fickell would be my number 9 pick. My number 8 pick, I really like this guy. I feel like he's doing a great job where he's at, to come from the school that he came from to a powerhouse school. Willie Taggart, I feel like, would be an amazing fit at Louisville. I feel like he can recruit the Florida area. He already has ties here from him being in Western Kentucky. So he has ties within the Kentucky area and the Midwest area. So he would be merging the Midwest and the Florida, the down south areas together when it comes to recruiting. He's currently at 5-7, so he didn't really do much better than Louisville did this year. But I feel like he would be still a great. I feel like he would be a great conduit for the players. I feel like he's a players coach, and him being younger, I feel like some of these players would be more able to relate to him than an older guy in Bobby Petrino. And being that, like I said, he has ties in the Florida area, and a lot of our players come from the Florida area. Well, at one point they did, now not so much, but a lot of our better players come from the Florida area. Brent Venables, number 7. Clemson's, I believe he's the defensive coordinator at Clemson. Man, they're currently undefeated. You know, they always have a great defense. What else can you say? Louisville's chances of getting this guy, slim to none. Number 1, I don't think they can afford a contract with him. Number 2, I don't think they can buy his current contract out, pending the situation they have now. Owing Bobby Petrino so much money, Tom Jurich so much money, Rick Pitino they're eventually going to have to pay out. I don't see this guy coming to Louisville, even though it'd be a great fit as far as defense goes. Ryan Day, the offensive coordinator, I believe he's the offensive coordinator of Ohio State. They're currently at number 11-1. I'm sorry, not number 11, but 11-1. This guy's a powerhouse offense. We all see what Ohio State brings to the table. The chances of getting this guy, wish in one hand and ish in the other. That's when he's going to show up to Louisville. Okay, let's move on. Yes. I believe his name is Scott Satterfield, Appalachian State. These guys are currently 9-2. He is the head coach at App State. Mr. Satterfield would be a wonderful coach for U of L. I believe, now don't quote me on this, I believe his contract is in a situation that U of L might be able to buy him out, or whatever years he has remaining on his contract. It would be a great fit because App State is in the area of where U of L has never recruited before, so he would be able to bring in new recruiting talent from parts of the country U of L's never seen. So that would be a great opportunity for U of L. Moving on, Dino Bars, Syracuse current head coach. These guys are sitting at 9-3. They beat our butts pretty bad. This guy seems to be a player's coach. Don't know too much about him, but he seems to be a player's coach. His players seem to like him. Feel like he might be, relatable to players. Other than that, I can't really say too much about him. Neil Brown, Troy's head coach. This guy's currently 9-3. Amazing offense they have at Troy. They are in not a great conference, so it wouldn't be hard for a decent team to dominate in the conference that they're in. It would be a great hire for U of L. You know, this guy would bring, once again, new recruiting area U of L's never recruited in, so it would be a nice fit and a nice new start in that angle. Now let's get down to these next 2 names. And these 2 names I feel like are the best 2 names to rebuild U of L with. And unfortunately, one of these names I feel like he can't be bought out of his contract, but I'll mention that. This next guy, he was a former U of L coach. He's done the best job with U of L within the past 15 years. He brought recruits in at an amazing rate. His defense was the number 1 defense, if not the number 2 defense, the whole time he was here, except for one year that he was here, which was his first, I believe his first and 2 years he was here, which was his first and second year. Everybody knows him. There was some controversy surrounding his leaving and him sleeping with someone's wife here, which is the real reason he actually left. It wasn't what everybody thinks it was. My man, the guy I really want to be the next U of L head coach, Charlie Strong. Chances of him coming, they're currently 7-5, had a pretty good year this year. We all know what he can do with the defense, given the opportunity. U of L is not as big as South Florida is, but they we have more clout at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Because of what Charlie Strong did for U of L. So Charlie Strong will, I think, be the excellent guy to bring in to immediately turn the program around, because what we need is a defensive mind. We want to go back to those old days of Bobby Petrino. You know, a lot of fans want to go back to the first Bobby Petrino era when he was throwing all those bomb passes and running up scores. It's just never going to happen again. with the type of talent that U of L brings in at the moment. We don't run the same schemes that we did then, and U of L has been built. U of L football was built off the back of what Charlie Strong did for U of L. You know, Bobby Petrino Johnny L. Smith, started U of L on the right path. Bobby Petrino came along, built off what he started, and it was amazing what Bobby Petrino did, but the Bobby Petrino of old is gone. We all see that. The only man within the past 15 years that has really put U of L on the map is Charlie Strong, and he put U of L on the map. And he didn't just do it because of Teddy Bridgewater. You know, a lot of Bobby Petrino's recent success was built off the back of what Lamar Jackson was doing, whereas a lot of the success Charlie Strong had at U of L was built off what he was able to build defensive-wise. So Charlie Strong would be my number 2 pick. Do I feel like he's coming? I don't know. It would be great. I feel like Charlie Strong and Brian Brown would be the perfect tandem. If they could somehow get Charlie Strong to come in and bring Brian Brown on as an offensive coordinator, I see an undefeated season. Okay, let's move on because this video is getting to be long. The number 1 pick, what most of the fan base wants, is Jeff Brom. We all know Jeff Brom is currently 6-6 with Purdue. I feel like the problems that they're going to have with trying to bring Jeff Brom in is buying his contract out. Being that all this money the U of L currently owes now Bobby Petrino, Tom Jurich, Rick Pitino, and having to put so much money up for that stadium, I just don't see it happening. We kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. The only way Jeff Brom comes to U of L next year is if he's doing it for the love of Louisville. That's the only way, because there's no way they're going to buy his contract out. They can't afford it, and Vance Traeger's already said that he's not going to guarantee any money. So who is going to come? You know, you're not even guaranteeing me any money, so why would I leave Purdue, which is already securing a certain amount of money, which is already a top-tier program in a top-tier conference with top-tier athletic facilities? Why would I leave that to come try to rebuild Louisville? It doesn't make a lot of sense. What does make a lot of sense is for them to go after the number 2 guy at Purdue, Brian Brown, because you wouldn't have a big buyout trying to go get Brian Brown. It's a fresh start. Brian Brown is a Louisville guy. It would be his first head coaching job, and I feel like he could be a player's coach. Now, all the ducks are lining up to say Brian Brown is U of L's next head coach. It's not Jeff Brown. It's the other Brown. It's Brian Brown. And I would stake a lot of claims saying Brian Brown will be your next head coach. It's not going to be Jeff Brown, unfortunately, because of the buyout situation. Charlie Strong would be, I think, everybody's pick. Not everybody wants to admit that, but that would be the best pick. And Charlie Strong plus Brian Brown would be an undefeated season in my eyes. But I would love to have Jeff Brown. Do I see it happening? I don't. I feel like the same as the Ohio State coach and the Clemson coach. It's just not going to happen. You can ish in one hand and wish in the other. It just ain't going to happen. Jeff Brown, I think, Brian Brown, I think is going to be Louisville's next head coach. And Charlie Strong is a wish and a dream, man. That's the Louisville Cardinal Weekly Report for now. I'm going to touch on Louisville. Took a couple of losses this week in basketball, man. But shout out to Chris Mack. I still think you're a wonderful coach, man. I hope you have a great season. We'll be reporting on more basketball coming up in the next couple of days, so stick with me. That's the Louisville Cardinal Weekly Report, and we out of here.